So we're going to discuss a little more about what if analysis. So what if analysis Excel की advanced tools का एक part है जो हमारे decision making में help करते हैं. It just helps us to decide better with respect to say today for example we saw examples of mortgage loan. ठीक है, आपको पेमेंट में चेंजेस करनी है या फिर रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट में चेंजेस करने से व्हाट इज़ द पेमेंट अमाउंट दैट वुड बी रिवाइज्ड. So we just spoke about different scenarios, different conditions. What if this changes, how my calculations will change? So I just want to show you some more examples of what if analysis. So the 3-4 things in what if analysis was goal seek, data table, scenario manager and solver. Solver doesn't come under what if analysis, but it is also a part of advanced concepts of Excel. So the first thing is goal seek. Let's just see this example. ठीक है, so I am a cycle manufacturer and the total number of cycles that I am manufacturing is, my business is into cycles, ठीक है, is 2000, and in the open market I am selling 4% of whatever I am manufacturing. ठीक है, so in the open market the number of cycles actually sold is, so over here to calculate the number of cycles sold I can simply multiply it by with the percentage, right? जो मैं manufacture कर रही हूँ उसको अगर मैं percentage sold के साथ multiply करूँगी, so I will actually get the number of cycles sold, right? I've written the formula over here also. Number of cycles sold is simply the total cycles manufactured multiplied by percentage of cycles sold. Similarly, I have two kinds of market. One is the open market and the other one is stock based market. So इसमें भी the same formula. If this is 4%, the remaining 1 minus 4% will be sold to stockist. So that is why I've multiplied B4 into 1 minus C4. ठीक है, so this is number of cycles sold. Then for one per unit cycle की sales कितनी है? The sales cost, the selling price is 1200 and for stock it's 1000. So cost per unit is for both 800. Profit is simply sales minus cost, and my fixed cost for both the market is 1 lakh rupees. ठीक है, so from here I can simply calculate the total profit. The total profit is simply 80 multiplied by 400, which is the number of cycles sold multiplied by profit plus number of cycles sold through stock multiplied by profit through stock and minus the fixed cost. ठीक है, so I've just directly used the sum product formula. You can also use this formula over here. Alright, so हमारी जो goal है, my goal is I want a profit of say 5 lakhs. ठीक है, I am going to set my profit to be 5 lakhs. So अगर मैं 5 lakh profit कमाना चाहती हूँ तो मेरे को कितनी percentage of sales करनी है, कितनी percentage of cycles should I sell in the open market? This is what I want to find out. So for this I, यहाँ पे मैंने फॉर्मूला अप्लाई किया है. सो आज वी जस्ट, हाँ आज हमारी गलती इसीलिए हो रही थी क्योंकि विदाउट सेटिंग द फॉर्मूला वी वर जस्ट रनिंग द फंक्शंस. ठीक है, वी वर जस्ट गोइंग टू व्हाट इफ एनालिसिस एंड स्टार्टिंग इट. So the first thing you have to do is you should have a formula in that particular cell. ठीक है, so I have my formula over here. I'm going to my data tab. I'm going to the forecast group and clicking on what if analysis and then goal seek. ठीक है, so when I click on goal seek it is asking me set cell. So this cell is where I wanted to set it. ठीक है, I want to set it to 5 lakhs. I want a profit of 5 lakhs. ठीक है, by changing what cell I want to change the percentage of sales that I am doing. I want to change the percentage so that my goal is achieved. So I'm just clicking on OK. If you could see, I have to increase my sales by 50%. Only then I will get a profit of 5 lakh. ठीक है, so I'll just say OK and I want to keep this value. ठीक है, this is all about goal seek. आज हमने क्लास में we were also talking about the simple interest goal seek, wherein आपकी principal amount को चाहिए तो आप how do you want to change the rate and how do you want to change the number of years, you can also set that. And also for payment we did that. ठीक है, just go back and revise. This was another example. The other thing, The other thing that we learned today was data table. ठीक है, what if analysis के अंदर there is another concept of data table. गोल सीख में आपने सिर्फ एक चीज चेंज किया है. You just changed the percentage of cycles sold and you wanted to find out what is the profit. I mean to attain the profit, what else you can change. ठीक है, तो डेटा टेबल में ये है कि आप मल्टीपल वेरिएबल्स चेंज कर सकते हो. पहले सिंगल वेरिएबल का देखते हैं कैसे करना है. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट वी हैव टू डू इज यू हैव टू इंसर्ट द फॉर्मूला ओवर हियर. सो या तो आप सीधा फॉर्मूला लिखो यहाँ पे, नहीं तो यू कैन जस्ट रेफर इट टू द सेल. यू कैन जस्ट राइट इट इक्वल टू what is this D11. If you just refer it to the cell where the formula is, that it will also work. So for some product I first select this array and then I select this array because it is a number of units sold multiplied by profit. That is what you are calculating, right? And then minus the cost. Okay, minus the fixed cost, you get your value over here. So हम सबसे पहले क्या करेंगे? You select this table, go to data tab, what if analysis and data table. तो एक्चुअली हमने जो गलती की है आज, रो इनपुट में हमने ये परसेंटेज वॉट एवर वी आर चेंजिंग हमने ये डाला था. एक्चुअली रो इनपुट में नहीं चेंज करना है, कॉलम इनपुट में चेंज करना है. वाई? बिकॉज इट इज आस्किंग अस कॉलम इनपुट सेल. ठीक है, सो बेसिकली ये पूछ रहा है कि कॉलम में जो आ रहा है वहां पे व्हाट वैल्यूज शुड बी टेकन. जो कॉलम में इंसर्ट होगा वहां पे कौन सी वैल्यूज शुड बी टेकन. सो कॉलम में यू इंक्लूड this percentage. ठीक है, if I'm going to insert this percentage over here, मेरे को ये पता चलेगा for different percentages what is the profit I will be getting. ठीक है, I'll just click on OK. If you could see, my output is right over here. So basically for 30% I'll be getting 4,20,000, for 40% 4,60,000, so on and so forth. ठीक है, so आज हमने basically input डालने में गलती की है, but otherwise this is the procedure. ठीक है, so I am basically selecting my column input cell, not row input cell. कॉलम में जो वैल्यूज आ रहे हैं वहां पे what input is required, that cell you are selecting. ठीक है, so this is data table using one variable. For two variables, what should we do? I'll just add it over here again. So let me just copy this percentage over here. So यहाँ पे I insert my formula. I'll just link it to the cell where the formula is already there. And over here I am going to give different sales price. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे my formula is dependent on कितने sales price है per product की और what is the cost, right? So I am going to change the sales of the cost, sales of the sales price of the product. ठीक है, so let me say it is 1000, then 1100, 1200, 1300, 1400 and 1500. ठीक है, now I select this table over here. I go to what if analysis, data table. My row input cell will be the sales price and my column input cell will be the percentage. ठीक है, so for different sales prices and different percentage of cycles sold, what would be my profit, ये पता करना चाहती हूँ मैं. Alright, so let's go and click OK. So this is the profit I will be getting for different combinations of sales price and different combination of percentage of sales sold. ठीक है, so this is data table. आज हमारे लिए इसीलिए नहीं हो रहा था because we मतलब मैंने जो input cell डाला है it should have been column input not row input. ठीक है, I'll just go back and show you that also. So ये वाली शीट में हम डेटा टेबल्स कैलकुलेट कर रहे थे. So let's just go back and rectify our mistake. So the formula is right. I'm just going to select this table, go to my data tab, what if analysis, data table, and यहाँ पे column input cell में I should select the interest rate. I'm just going to click OK. I got my answer. Alright. Similarly, for a two-way data table also, the first cell is having my formula. I'm selecting the entire data table. entire table. Going back to what if analysis, data table, row input cell में I am giving my mortgage amount and column input cell में I am giving the interest rate. If I click on OK, I am getting my updated output. Alright. So basically जो input cell में गलती हुई थी आज हमारी. So next we are going to talk about scenario manager. So scenario manager में you are giving different scenarios. Let's say you are giving different cases, the best case scenario, worst case, default case. ठीक है, so these kind of scenarios you are giving different options, you are giving with different combinations. Say for example over here in the bottom of this page you have scenario A. Scenario A में there is a certain number of percentage of units sold. ठीक है, जैसे 30% is sold with unit price is 1400 and cost is 1 lakh. For B and C and D it is differing. ठीक है, so for different combinations what is the kind of output that we will be getting, we are going to, what is the profit that we will be getting, that is what we are going to find out in scenario manager. So let's just go to what if analysis, scenario manager. Let's add the first scenario. ठीक है, let's say the first scenario is scenario A. by changing cells, कौन कौन सी cells को आप change कर रहे हो? सबसे पहले तो percentage को change कर रही हूँ. You will select only those cells that is included in this formula. ठीक है, so my percentage is changing, then I am changing my sales price also, and then I am changing my fixed cost also. ठीक है, I'll just go on and click OK. Right. So what is the scenario के हिसाब से क्या percentage है? Scenario A के लिए 30% है. ठीक है, my unit price is 1400 and my investment is 1 lakh. I'm going to say OK. Then I'm going to add another scenario and I'm going to name it as scenario B. ठीक है, by changing these cells, let me fix all of these cells. ठीक है, I'm clicking F4 and fixing all the 3 cells. You can see the dotted cells over here. I'm clicking on OK and I'm changing the values. So it's the same. B के लिए percentage sold is 50%, unit price is 1200, but my cost is 1,20,000. So I'm just going to say OK. I'll add another scenario and call it scenario C. I'll fix these. Alright, go on, click OK. What is the value? It is 70%. And my unit price is 1150 and my cost is 1,25,000 and I'm saying OK. I'm adding another scenario, calling it scenario D. I'll fix this. I say OK and it is 100%. The cost, the price is same and my investment cost is 1,35,000. I'm saying OK. So I have these 4 different scenarios for different values of percentage of cycles sold, sales price per unit and fixed cost for each product, sorry, each category. So I'm just going to click on and say summary. Some scenario summary चाहिए मेरे को. The result cell is the cell where you've applied the formula. ठीक है, so I select this cell and I'm saying OK. So when I click on OK, I'm going to get another sheet called the scenario summary sheet, which will consist of different options. So basically हमने क्या किया, different scenarios के लिए what is the profit that I would get. We were trying to calculate that, right? So it's just taking a while. So this is the summary that I am getting. So for different scenarios, this is the profit that I will be getting. ठीक है, so scenario A के लिए I'll get 5,40,000 as my profit. For scenario B, I will get 4,80,000. For scenario D, I will get 4,85,000, and for scenario D, 5,65,000. So if my production, if my selling capacity is 100%, if I'm selling all the products that I'm manufacturing, then I'll get the maximum profit. ठीक है, but although this is 5,65,000 over here, if you could see, even if I'm selling only 30% of whatever I'm manufacturing, I'm still getting 5,40,000 as my profit. So from these two you can actually decide what the business will consider, right? So यहाँ पे 100% selling से भी I am getting 5,65,000 because my cost that I am incurring into the business is 1,35,000. Over here my investment is 1 lakh only, my fixed cost is 1 lakh only, but the kind of also because यहाँ पे unit price is 1,400 and it is less over here, ठीक है? So this is scenario manager. For different scenarios you are actually finding out the profit, and basically it is a business situation, and organizations can use such options in Excel to evaluate their business, to check, to to decide what kind of projects should be taken, what kind of projects should be pursued. जैसे आज हमने capital budgeting देखा, this is also one approach which will help you to make decision making, business decisions. ठीक है? So आज एक और एग्जाम्पल देखा था, let's try to solve that also. So we have the sales report of 4 regions, north, east, west and south. ठीक है? तो basically यहाँ पे मैं predict कर रही हूँ sales growth. So I am randomly giving some percentage over here. So let me just say for north, all the regions, my predicted sales growth is 4%. ठीक है? So मेरे पास first quarter की sales है. ठीक है? This is the first quarter sales. सेकेंड क्वार्टर की सेल्स मैं कैसे कैलकुलेट करूँगी? टू कैलकुलेट द सेकेंड क्वार्टर सेल्स आई कैन यूज़ द प्रिडिक्टेड सेल्स ग्रोथ, राइट? सो इट वुड बी द फर्स्ट क्वार्टर multiplied by the sales growth plus the first quarter, right? I think you just have to use brackets properly over here if required. यहाँ पे brackets use कर देते हैं. The answer is anyway same. Alright, so this is the formula that I've actually applied over here. ठीक है? We did not even notice this formula, right, when we were solving. So यहाँ पे Q2 के लिए 4% sales growth है, Q3 के लिए भी 4%, Q4 के लिए भी 4%, and then you're getting the total, right? Similarly for different regions, east region, south region, west region and south region, you're getting different sales growth, different sales values for the rest of the quarters using this percentage. ठीक है? Now let's say I want my yearly total या फिर my region wise total to be something. Say for example I want my yearly total to be like 15 lakhs. ठीक है? So based on that scenario I can either use goal C, ठीक है? Data table से change कर सकती हूँ, और यहाँ पे what I'm going to do is for different scenarios I am going to check the summary, scenario summary change करना चाहती हूँ. ठीक है? So let's say my best case is 10%, my worst case is 1% growth, which is almost negligible growth for every quarter, and my default growth is 5%. So I'll go to my what if analysis scenario manager. I'm going to add a best case scenario. Let me first delete this. I'll add a best case scenario. Let me say best scenario. By changing the cells, I'm going to change these cells. I want to change the sales growth. यहाँ पे growth change करके I want to change my yearly total. ठीक है? I'm just going to say okay. Let's say for the best case scenario it is 10%. Alright, I'm just going to say okay. Add one more scenario which is called worst. Changing these cells, let me just fix it. Okay. And I'm going to give these values as 1%. Go on and say okay. And I'll add one default scenario. I'm going to give it 5%. Okay. So I'll need a summary now, and a scenario summary for this particular total. I want my total to change. Okay. I'll just go and say okay. I'll get my scenario summary in a while. See, so for different values, different scenarios, my total is changing. My yearly total sales is changing. Okay? So this is all about scenario manager. So we should basically remember कहाँ पे हम formula डाल रहे हैं, कौन सी formula डाल रहे हैं, ये अगर हमको पता है, तो you can solve these three things very easily. ठीक है?